Hey, good morning everyone. So Andrew here again. This morning I had an awesome morning. We did our Wednesday workout, and we had a good friend, Gayatri, came to join us in the morning as well. Stacy was out of action because she pulled a old injury on her back, but then she still mentally was there to support us. So awesome. Okay, so today's reading, I'm just going to share more that I read, yesterday and this morning as well. So today's chapter is called Seeing the Invisible. You guys see it? Seeing the Invisible. Yeah. So he's going to start off with about the whole, integration of the whole body, the spirit, the mind, and what's it called? The emotion. Yeah. So if you look at this image here, I'm going to show it to you. You can see it? So let me read it to you. So the spirit comes from the center, and that leads to the inner, the next circle, which is the emotion, and the last one, second last one, is the mind, and then finally the body, which is the outer. So I'm going to go through this page, so-called this chapter, and talk about the various components from what I learned. And I think it's quite interesting because it sort of pulls a holistic view of everything together, and I think I really like this because it's something that I'm going through right now, and I was reading it, it just totally reflected on me. So I took some notes. Okay, so I believe reading books you need to take notes, and this is where it's really good. So let me find the page. Okay, here. In fact, I got two full pages. Of notes just from this small chapter. So let's talk about the body first. So your body is the physical conduit of your thoughts, your emotion, and spirit. So this is where having a healthy body, it's really important because as he says, is the conduit. This is where you get the energy and everything to do what you love. So reflecting on what we're doing right now, being fit so that your body is at its optimal, it's more healthy state, really reflects on what you're doing and your energy level. So I think that's really important. So second one is mind. Okay, this is the most tricky part. The most powerful thing is also can be the worst thing that takes you down. Okay, so the mind. First line he talked about is the power of your thoughts. Okay, so your thoughts, from what I read and other places that I read, there are really three kinds of thought. One is the conscious thought, what I'm thinking right now. One is the subconscious, that is already buried. And I think the lowest, the deepest state is called the unconscious. So, where you don't think about it and you just do it. Yeah, so that's really unconscious. And the next step is once what you think leads to your emotions, your feelings. It could be positive, it could be negative, and I think the most powerful thing in the world is the most powerful emotion is actually fear. Yeah. Okay, fear, a lot of fear controls us. It could be imposed by somebody, it could be imposed by your mind, simply to protect us. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just an emotion that is human, makes us humane, right? And that sort of controls us. Of course, the other positive end is love. Love kills everything, as they always say. And I agree. If your love for God and God's love you, everything works as well. Okay, so the thoughts leads to your emotions, and then that leads to your actions. So when it comes to actions, is either I keep it simple. It's either you fight or you flight. You run away. Yeah. So it depends if it's positive or is it negative. You run. I know for myself that sometimes I like to run away from my problems, and this is where you need to overcome that, and that's where it's really difficult. And of course, with the action leads to your results. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it mediocre? Yeah. So I think those are the four things that you want to think about your mind, your thoughts, leads to your emotion, that leads to your action, and it leads to your results. Where you are today, where we are today, is a result of what we've been doing. It could be good, it could be bad. Everything is all actually in your mind. And if you think about it, we still have to do what we have to do. Yeah. So another thing that your mind loves to do is to play tricks with your mind, right? We hear what we want to hear. And this is where, let me read this to you. Your context, how you think, especially from the book, Robert Kiyosaki's book, he's talking about money and investing. So your context, how you think about money and investing, often more importantly than the actual context. It's more important than the actual context of investing information. Okay, that didn't sound right. Let me read that again. Wait, sorry, I can't read my own handwriting as well. I have it here. So, let me find that. Okay, here it is. Your context, how you think about money and investing, is often more important than the actual content of investing information. All the data in the world will be of little value to you if your filters, your invisible thoughts, are at odds with your stated goals. When you change your context or thoughts to be supportive and aligned with your goals, then the invisible becomes visible. Okay, so this is really interesting, because basically what you think, what you feel, leads to your actions and the results. And yeah, so this is something to take note of. We call it the inner voice that so-called plays with you. So this is bringing back my old example from Mel Robbins. If you think that little voice is trying to trick you in protecting yourself rather than going forward, use the Mel Robbins 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is where it is. So the next one is emotions. Emotions are typically driven by your thoughts or past conditioning from your childhood. Okay, fear is probably one, as I mentioned, fear is probably one of the strongest emotion. Fear of your past, fear of what happened in your past. So if you came out in a I'm not a psychologist, but everyone knows this, that if you come from a traumatic childhood, where maybe your parents have been abusing you, have been shouting, throwing things at you, and you as a child just feels that, you could be very fearful on a subconscious or even unconscious level. And this is where it could affect you in adulthood, how you react to relationship situations or anything. And like for me, I had a very blessed childhood. My parents loved me a lot, and I think because of that, I'm very forgiving and very outgoing. So that could be that. Who knows? Okay, so the last one, which is spirit. Okay, so spirit is the invisible force that gives us the courage to overcome our fears. For a person, I'm a Catholic, I believe in God. I think the power of the Holy Spirit, the spiritual energy, gives you the courage to overcome things. This is where we go through meditative states, prayers early in the morning, to help us, get that spirit up and keep yourself going. And especially if you are surrounded in a very toxic environment, the only one you can really turn to, is God. And this is where, being so-called one with God, one with that Holy Spirit, for me, my case, really helps me overcome my fears and, go through difficult times. Okay, great. So the next stage, which he talked about within the mind, not within the mind, but basically the whole thing. It takes all of you. Let me read this to you. Pursuing and attaining your financial vision will take all of your body, mind, emotions, and spirit. It is an incredible, enlightening, frustrating, eye-opening, and honest process of self-discovery and personal development. There is so much to learn, but in learning comes the growth, the confidence, the fun, and especially the freedom. Okay, so I think so this is where I'm going to stop here, but just to summarize, understanding your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, the spirit, the physical body is a manifestation of everything that you're doing right now. is really important, because that will determine, I would say, your success. And this is where, on a personal level, and a few of my friends, we are going through that journey of trying to improve our mind, our thoughts, at the same time, exercising, overcoming our fear, overcoming our little voice, just to grow ourselves. So that's the review for today. Hope I wasn't too long-winded. Anyway, I'll do another video tomorrow. So see you, and thank you for listening. Please help like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, and that will really help help more people. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.